Hi there, my name's James Kennedy. I'm the Grey Squirrel Officer for Aberdeen for the Saving Scotland's Red Squirrels project. I'm going to do a short presentation on the trap loan scheme, emphasising about the work that we do here in the North East. The trap loan scheme has been going on right from the very beginning of the project since 2009, and we definitely wouldn't be where we are today without many householders joining the scheme and helping us out. We use gecko traps, so just these types of traps here. We also add the shelter cages at the bottom so that any kind of trapped animal has a degree of shelter if required. When we set up any traps, we either use an existing bird feeder or a back fence or a wall, depending really where the trap host is seeing the most kind of squirrel activity. We go through, we explain, the Grey Squirrel officers explain how the trap mechanism works, how to open the trap, how to close the trap, and what to do in the event of any grey squirrel capture, and then obviously how to release any red squirrels that we happen to catch. The traps themselves are ideally sighted within line of sight at somebody's back garden. That gives them more of a chance to be monitoring the trap more than the twice daily that we ask. So obviously, if they're just looking out their back window, they're always checking the trap if the trap's within eyesight. When they do catch a squirrel, it's just a case of they cover the trap with an old sheet or an old towel, and they have one dedicated number that they phone, and then the phone call is then distributed as to whoever, if it's on a weekend, whoever's on call that weekend, because up here in the northeast we have a 7-day-a-week call out service. We do have, obviously, that's split between the 4 staff that we have and one very dedicated volunteer that's been with us since 2010. So he also helps out some weekends, and obviously some weekends some weekdays that's during the evenings, especially in the longer nights that we get up here in the northeast. Also, as well as explaining the mechanism and how to shut the trap off, they also get a trapping calendar. The trapping calendar gives us a better idea as to the trapping effort. It was the simplest way of various kind of forms that we went through, and we found that this was the simplest and easiest way for people to let us know how long their trap's been open for and when their trap was closed. So it was just a case of when they open their trap, they circle the date the trap's open, and then they cross out each subsequent date that the trap's open. When the trap's shut, then they leave the dates blank, and then it's just a case of every quarter these sheets are sent to the conservation officer, and she goes through and enters them into the hub, so that we've got an accurate record, or as accurate as possible, of a record of our trapping effort and any captures that we have. As far as the trap loan scheme goes, in the lifetime of the DCA phase, they have obviously remained vital in our work. As you can see, 2018, it was we were very, very close. The amount of squirrels caught in comparison to the amount of squirrels that volunteers caught in comparison to GSOs was pretty close. and that kind of goes back since before DCA phase. That kind of trend kind of continues. So far, just during the trap loan scheme side of the project, we've managed to remove 2,939 grey squirrels from the northeast, and that's a huge effort by all the trap loan participants that have and householders that have ever signed up to the scheme. Considering when it's all been through word of mouth. We haven't actively advertised the trap loan scheme for various reasons. For the moment anyway. So it's either been through word of mouth or through the sightings website. When sightings come in, obviously there's when squirrel sightings come in, they then get a kind of generic email explaining about obviously the trap loan scheme and obviously and would they want to get involved, and then obviously then it's then up to the conservation officer to follow that up, and it's then passed to the GSOs who then set them up with a trap. So far, there's 350 separate households have had a trap in Aberdeen since 2009, and that's a massive amount of people. There is some that have had traps multiple times. So what usually happens is that when they get a trap after a period of time, if they haven't been seeing any squirrels at all, we usually take the trap in, and then in the knowledge that if the grey squirrels do return, then obviously they can have the trap back, and it's just a case of just setting them back up. There's no need to go through all the paperwork again, although they do get a new trapping calendar, as obviously we still need that trapping data from them. Some very dedicated volunteers have been absolutely amazing, going right the way back to there's been trap loan hosts or householders have had traps right from the very beginning. So there's one particular gentleman in Cults has had a trap since 2009, and he's removed 120 grey squirrels, and then amazingly red squirrels appeared in his garden, and he now has regular red squirrel sightings in his garden, which is an amazing result, and obviously it's the type of result that we need to push forward with the project, and it's really the good news stories that obviously we like to hear back from, especially people that have been involved in the project for a long time. So they've been involved with the project for a long time. So it's good that they get the rewards of visiting red squirrels in their garden. There's another couple in Cults, in Bridge of Dawn. They've had their trap since 2010, and they've removed 213 grey squirrels from their small garden in the Bridge of Dawn. Now, without their help, without them agreeing to host a trap, those 213 grey squirrels would have just multiplied, and obviously we're now at a situation where they've now for a year or so now have not had any grey squirrels at all, so they've actually given their trap back, which is amazing. So, like you say, returning red squirrels to sometimes people's gardens for the first time in their lifetime is a significant result, for us. And if you have any questions, then I'm available to answer any questions. And also, if you know anybody that's in the northeast, or particularly in Aberdeen, that is seeing grey squirrels and would like to have a trap, or would like to ask about joining the trap loan scheme, or any other questions about grey squirrel control, then I'm more than happy to answer. Thanks very much. Bye.